Yes, all the many faces of doing my hair. But let me take you through it. So I decided I want to do my hair in this updo. And I'm going to start by brushing my hair out, combing it through. You want to do it on dirty hair. I mean, you can do it on clean hair, but I chose to do it on dirty hair because I'm putting a lot of product in and it's going to be washed out anyways. So I'm going to start by putting this ponytail, parting the side part. As you can see, I part the side part and I parted that little section to swap over. I'm doing a swoop, so I need something to cover up the tracks that I'm going to put down. I pulled out my edges and I am just laying down my baby hairs just to give this style a little oomph. And then once I've gotten my baby hairs together, I actually don't do the other side because it's going to be covered. It's going to be covered. Why am I going to sit here and take all this time to try to do the baby hairs when the other side is going to be covered by the long side piece? But anyways, I'm going to finish the baby hairs. I'm going to get me some synthetic braiding hair. I'm going to loop it through and I'm going to tie it around my ponytail. And then once I have that tied around my ponytail, I'm going to split this in half. One's going to go on the left side and one's going to go on the right side, as well as my hair in half. Do you see how I'm doing it here? You want to brush your hair through. If you have it already blow dried or flat iron, you shouldn't have this issue, but I did not do any. Once I get those together, I'm going to just twist it into two braids, I guess you want to say, a twist, a two-strand twist. You want to do that all the way through. Once you get it, you want to start wrapping. Now, this is the hard part. This is where it gets a little tricky because you want to make sure you start from the top. You want to make sure you have a secure, tight bun up top, and then you're going to work your way down to wrap around. And then once you get down, you can go up a little bit if you need to kind of get that look up top that didn't happen. And then you're going to take a bobby pin and you're just going to stick this through. Now, I did forget to take a piece of hair out to wrap around the bottom to give that finished look. So after I'm done with the bobby pins, you'll see I'm grabbing hair. But first let me brush it. Let me brush it to get all of that flyaways that are there. And then I'm going to spray it with some Got2b spray. Yes, this Got2b hold spray has been key. Anyways, here goes me getting that little extra piece of hair. I tie one end. Once I got that tied, I'm going to take it and I'm going to start wrapping it around, just so it can have a good wrap. And then once I get to a point where I'm almost done, I'll brush it through to make sure it's still flat. And then I'll spray it to make sure that stays flat while I'm wrapping it. And then you're just going to simply just wrap it around the piece until you get to the end. Once you get to the end, put a bobby pin, and then you have the ponytail finish. Now, right here, I'm spraying a bunch of Got2b between the Got2b gel and the Got2b glue. And then you can also use the quick weave holding mold. You can put it in that piece because that's where we're going to glue on the tracks. Now, I recommend you all to be careful when doing this. You do want to use the quick weave protector spray in that one little area that you're going to glue. I take about 2 inches of hair, as you can see, 2 inches of track hair, and I cut it. And then I'm just going to cut them and then glue them on. I'm going to use the quick drying glue, as you can see, and I'm just going to keep gluing, and I'm going to go all the way up with the same method, about 2 inches all the way up until I get to the top. As you see, I'm getting closer to the top, and then this is me at the very top of it. And then you want to use the blow dryer in between to help dry it faster. So that's what I did. Now I did about, I want to say 4 or 5 rows of this, about 2-inch pieces. If you have more space, then you'll go up to about 2.5-inch pieces to 3-inch pieces. Now, once I got it combed through, I took the scissors and now I'm just going to do that bang. I'm going to do that side bang. I'm going to cut in a downward angle, kind of not really closing the scissors, but I don't have a razor, so I'm using this technique in replace of a razor. Now I have the layers in the side bang that I need, and I'm going to just simply put this headband around it, this bandana, my Haitian bandana, ça passe. Shout out to all my Zoes. And then I'm going to put my bonnet on. Now, this is because I'm now going to go in and do my makeup. As you can see, I did a smoky eye look on my makeup. And now I'm going to take the braid out after I flat iron it. So I flat iron these little pieces just so it can get somewhat straightened. And I can see how it's laying and falling before I actually take the braid out. And I'm just using my Babe Bliss flat iron. I take the braid out, and now I'm going to take my hair and I'm going to flat iron it. Now you can use a heat protector, you can use a wax, you can use anything that's going to help your hair not puff up with the humidity, because it is my natural hair. And then you're just going to take the flat iron and curl in a backwards motion. So I curled it all the way back to give me this look. Now I have a little piece here that is just too long, so I'm just going to cut that off with the same technique. And then I'm just going to do the final checks, y'all. I'm just going to make sure, as you can see, my makeup, I got to go in and blend that top part that was covered. I'll do that before. And then once I'm done, you have the finished look. Shout out to my hubby for recording me and making me laugh. Because he was being my Insta husband. Bye.
Not you being the Insta husband that I need.